Hello friends, my name is Masood. Today we shall discuss about topic the creating and maintaining definition of done. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in Scrum framework, project management and software development. So let's start, friend. First of all, we have to understand that what is the concept of definition of done. Friend, definition of done is basically a concept or you can say a criteria in the Scrum framework. Scrum is basically agile based or iterative based approach of project management for software based projects in which we deliver the work to the customer, in which we divide the overall work into multiple chunks, and with each chunk the basically we do the planning, development, testing and deliver the work to the customer. That chunk is basically called as a sprint. Actually, a sprint is a 3 to 4 weeks time box or time period. Now during the sprint we are working on different features required for a product, and once the sprint ends, that the product or the things which we get at the end of the sprint, that is called as product increment. Okay, and the overall requirements or features required for a product are called as product backlog. Product backlog is, simply think of this as a requirement document in which all the features, requirements, enhancements, bug fixes are basically mentioned in the product backlog. Now the definition of done means that the criteria at which we will consider that this particular requirement or feature has been completed. Like user story is also called as the particular feature required for a product. Now when a sprint starts, the team is working on the different features required for a product. Now here it is very necessary that the Scrum development team, product owner, Scrum master, they should know, they should have a shared understanding that what is the criteria at which we will consider, we will accept that particular requirement or feature has been completed. That particular requirement, that particular criteria is called as definition of done. Done means completed. So now we will discuss creating and maintenance of definition of done. First is creating a definition of done. So here friend, team collaboration means that definition of done is not a dictated approach. Like there is no criteria, there is no scenario like that one person is saying that this is the definition done. It is the collaborative approach in which the Scrum team, Scrum development team, product owner, Scrum master, they basically involve, and everyone's input is valuable to ensure a comprehensive set of criteria. So from the input and from the effort from main stakeholders like product owner, Scrum development team, Scrum master, they basically decide and agreed on the criteria of the definition of done. Then comprehensive criteria means that the definition of done include both the functional and non-functional criteria. Here remember that what is basically the difference between functional and non-functional. Functional means the feature, user feature required. For example, customer can sign up into the application. This is a functional requirement. Non-functional requirement means that the website should be open in all browsers like Opera, Mozilla, Firefox, etc. So this is a non-functional requirement. So the criteria should include both the functional and the non-functional criteria, and it might cover aspects such as coding standards, testing, documentation and UAT as well, and address different layers of product, ensuring that no critical aspect is overlooked here. It is also very important. Then specificity and the clarity. Here remember one thing, that friend, definition of done should be clearly defined. Like don't use general words like testing. Always use specific words like, for example, unit testing, system integration testing, UAT. So the criteria should be very specific. Then relevance to the stakeholders means the alignment of definition of done with the expectations and need of the stakeholder, like especially the customer side and the business side. Actually what they want, what is their expectations here. Ensure that the defined criteria contribute to delivering value to the end users and meeting business objectives. Continuous inspection and adaptation means that a definition of done is not a static thing, like it is not a scenario that it is only one time created. It basically regularly inspect and adopt and change according to the during the sprint retrospective or as needed. We know that in the sprint retrospective we basically review the work which has been completed in the sprint review meeting, and by reviewing and improving the definition of done based on the changing project requirements, team capabilities and lesson learned, this is very necessary here as well. Then maintaining a definition of done. Regular reviews means that a schedule regular reviews of the definition of done during a sprint retrospective, which held after the sprint review meeting, and it allows the team to discuss actually the sufficient or if adjustments are needed here in that case, and use feedback from team members to enhance and refine the definition of done, because we know that in the review session, retrospective session, everyone is giving feedback, and is their feedback is very important. So based on their feedback you can improve and enhance the definition of done as well. Continuous improvement means embrace a culture of continuous improvement, encourage team members to share insights and suggestions for refining the definition of done, act on lessons learned from each sprint to enhance the quality and efficiency of the development process. A sprint is a 3 to 4 weeks time period in which we plan, develop, test and deploy. Then alignment with product goals means that ensure that the definition done align with the overall product goals and objectives. For example, product goal was to enhance the customer base, for example, so it should be aligned with the product goal as well. Regularly validate that the definition of done reflects the evolving needs of the product and its stakeholders. Education and transparency means educate all stakeholders including team members, product owner and external stakeholders about the definition of done. Transparently communicate the quality standards and completion criteria that the team adheres to. Tool for empowerment. Friend, empower the development team with the definition of done, because it serves as a tool for the team to maintain high standards of work and take ownership of the quality of the product increment. Okay, then the integration with the definition of ready. Here friend, one thing that remember that definition of ready is different and definition of done is different. Definition of ready means that once the feature is ready to take into the sprint, before starting a sprint we know that we take the feature set from the product backlog. Okay, so before taking the feature or user story into the basically sprint, that user story should be ready, that means the things should be ready. So definition of done outline criteria that must be met before a backlog item is pulled into the sprint, while the definition of done outline criteria for the completion. This is the main difference between definition of ready and definition of done. So by actively creating and maintaining a robust definition of done, the Scrum team ensures that the delivered product increment is consistently of high quality, meets stakeholder expectations and contributes to the overall success of the project. Regular communication, collaboration and adaptability are key elements in this process.